What's up, guys? Mickle here, and there is a lot going on in the cryptocurrency industry right now. The SEC just brought a brand new case that could potentially be targeted at Bitcoin. In this video, we're going to talk about that, as well as a massive event that's taking place tomorrow that is going to have huge implications for the entire crypto industry. I also want to talk about a case that the SEC is in right now. It's related to cryptocurrency that they are currently getting a beatdown in. Not a lot of people are paying attention to this case, but just like the Ripple SEC case, the judge in this case we're going to talk about is absolutely sick of the SEC. I want to talk about what's going on there, so make sure to stick around for that. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. If you want to see more videos just like this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below and turn on bell notifications. These three simple things are going to go such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys ever need a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange, Uphold, down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So real quick guys, you probably remember in the past I teamed up with 24 Hours Crypto to release these awesome XRP pendants. We actually have a brand new one on his website with this black backdrop. This thing looks absolutely sick. What you're looking at right now, the pendant and the chain together, are only $75, but you can also buy the pendant separately if you already got the other one with the chain for $40. Now guys, this thing looks absolutely incredible. It's a one-of-a-kind thing. You can only get it here. Last time we were selling these, they sold out extremely fast. So if you want to get one for yourself or as a gift, make sure to check it out. The link will be in the description of this video. And if you use the code MM, you'll get 15% off. So definitely check that out before they run out. So let's jump into the video. And I want to start off with a pretty big event that's taking place tomorrow, and that is the first round of oral hearings in the Grayscale versus SEC case. Now, this is all about why the SEC won't let Grayscale convert their GBTC product into a spot ETF. Pretty much the SEC has no good reason for denying it other than trying to stall crypto, but tomorrow will be the first oral hearing for that. Now, what's going to be very interesting is as soon as this thing is over, John Deaton is actually getting on a Twitter space with a very, very popular Twitter user. He has like 1 million followers or something, and they're going to be talking about this case. And I think both of these events are going to be extremely interesting. Now, I really don't know how this trial is going to go, especially on the first day. I think both parties are just going to give their opening arguments, but it's going to be pretty interesting to see what the SEC has to say for why they've been denying this product. Most people in the industry say it doesn't really make sense. The SEC has already allowed Bitcoin products on the market. They were future ETFs, but at the end of the day, spot ETFs and future ETFs both track the same thing. They track Bitcoin's price. So why is the SEC stalling one product and letting the other one through the door? Well, I think we've all heard something like that before. Same thing with Ethereum, they let it through the door. Same thing with Bitcoin, and they slammed it on XRP. I think that same kind of thing is happening here. It's going to be interesting to see how the SEC tries to explain it, if they have any good reason, but it's definitely a massive event for all of crypto, so we're going to keep our eye on it. Now, I want to move on and talk about a case that's not getting a lot of attention right now, but it's pretty interesting because the judge in this case seems to hate the SEC. So for that reason alone, I want to investigate why he hates the SEC so much, why he's calling them out, and if there's any similarities in the SEC's behavior to what they're doing in the Ripple case. So essentially what's going on here, and this case has to do with Binance and Voyager. Now, for those of you who don't know, Voyager was a cryptocurrency exchange that was pretty popular in the United States. They actually had a stock trading on the public markets, and I think that helped get a lot of retail attention. Ultimately though, they did go bankrupt, so customers lost all their money. It's a terrible story. We have seen this all too often, but essentially what Binance was doing is they were coming in to just buy all the assets, buy all the customer accounts, and by doing this, they were going to be able to make a lot of people whole again, because Voyager in its current state, they're just going through the bankruptcy court, so pretty much retail investors were last on the list to get their money back. If Binance was able to buy out all the accounts, essentially a lot of the users who had their accounts stolen from them from the bankruptcy court would have a better chance of actually getting their money back because Binance would be a solvent company in control of all the assets. Now, what's going on here is extremely interesting because the second Binance came in to actually purchase the bankrupt company Voyager, which most lawyers following this case were saying this would be a good thing for retail investors, but the second Binance came in to go do that, the SEC essentially interjected and said, no, this is not allowed. This would be a securities violation. Now, this got a lot of people's attention because in all intents and purposes, from everything I have seen out there, almost every single person who knew what was going on here was unanimously saying that Binance buying Voyager would have been good for the retail customers of Voyager's product. Essentially, it was the best chance these retail investors had of actually getting their money out of Voyager. But the second this deal was proposed by Binance, the SEC stepped in to shut it down. Now, this immediately sparked some intense criticism from the judge, and this actually happened a couple weeks ago, but there was a lot of fuzzy reporting around it. It was hard to tell if the judge was just saying, oh, this is a weird move and was going to let him go through with it, or the judge was actually ready to take a stand. Well, today we actually had another round of the trial, and guys, this judge is not having it with the SEC. He came out today and said directly to the SEC, you yourself are not providing any clarity for this industry. How are people supposed to read your mind? This judge is understanding that the SEC is refusing to give clarity to the industry, but is coming into these different cryptocurrency related issues and saying, oh, just listen to us. It doesn't really matter. The laws are clear. Cryptocurrencies aren't new. We've been here before. Listen to us. We'll take care of it. This judge is not buying it at all, and he sees for sure that the SEC is trying to screw over retail investors here. This is the SEC doing the same old tactics they have done in the Ripple SEC case. John Deaton tweeted out, the SEC is making S up as it goes regarding crypto. In the Ripple vs. SEC case, they argued that Hinman's speech was a personal opinion, not guidance. When the judge ordered the emails discoverable, they flipped and argued it was guidance from the corporation division. The SEC does not have any legal positions, but they go into these cases like they do. They act like they know what's going on, and they just hope the judge buys their BS. In this Voyager case, they don't even know what they're calling a security. They're just saying the general transaction of Binance trying to buy Voyager's assets, that's all one securities transaction. And the judge is saying, what are you talking about? You can't just come out and make that assertion if you haven't provided any clarity. Now, obviously, this is a very simplistic explanation of what went on here, but the important part to note is all the lawyers watching what's happening here are saying it's completely absurd, and the SEC is doing this to screw over retail investors. Rather than just letting Binance buy Voyager, let Binance help out these retail customers that are getting screwed over, the SEC is trying to block the transaction and trying to get a ruling that will benefit their agency over benefiting the people that were actually hurt. This is just another disgusting act by the SEC, but it is so great to see another judge calling them out on this. Eventually, the SEC is going to have to realize that their tactics are not working. People are not buying the fact that the SEC can walk into these cases, claim there's clarity when there isn't, and as long as we keep on getting judges who are willing to call out the SEC on this BS, their power is going to be severely limited. And if that wasn't enough SEC news for you, just wait because it keeps on coming. I swear every single time I refresh my Twitter feed now, it's the SEC suing a new cryptocurrency related company. And in this new case they just brought, it looks like the SEC is going after Bitcoin. Now, they're not calling Bitcoin itself a security, but what they're saying is that the mining equipment used to mine Bitcoin and the pooling of customer funds in these mining pools, that could be a security. Now, I haven't had a chance to actually look through the details of this case. It seems like there's a decent amount of debate going on right now, whether or not this was a security or it wasn't. We have to keep in mind that some of the stuff going on in crypto is securities. We took a look at the Kraken product on this channel, and I did determine that I thought Kraken likely was offering a security. Now, what's important to note here is that that's not really the main issue here. The issue is that no one knows what's a security, and the SEC is deciding that they'll just sue people rather than provide clarity. So now it looks like the SEC is going after mining pools, and we don't know the exact details of what in this mining pool the SEC thinks is making it a security, but it's important to note that they're suing someone over it, claiming it is a security, and prior to this, no one knew that this was a security. And a lot of people are coming out and saying things like, well, why didn't they just register their product? If it was close to being a security, wouldn't the smart thing just to be prudent, go in, register the product, and that way you can't complain if the SEC comes down 20 years down the road and says, oh, by the way, we thought this was a security the whole time, we just never told you. It's so important to understand registering with the SEC isn't a real option, and we learned this as a fact in the Ripple case. I say this all the time, but one of the few things I actually love about this ongoing Ripple SEC case is getting to see documents we would have never gotten to see before. And one of the most shocking things we saw was Ripple directly going to the SEC and saying, how can we sell XRP in a compliant manner? What can we do to make sure we can continue our business and make sure we are doing it within the bounds of what the SEC thinks is acceptable? And you know what the SEC told them? Stop selling XRP. There was no way to make their product compliant. There was no way to register sales. There was no way to make sure they were giving enough disclosures to protect retail investors. No, they had one option: shut down their business, stop selling XRP, no exceptions. There is no way to work with the SEC right now. They're looking to shut down whatever they can. They're looking to stall innovation, and that's why these lawsuits are so egregious. There's no way to comply. Even if something is a security, people like Kraken likely would have registered, but they couldn't. It was never an option. They can't go register because the SEC won't let them. The SEC wants to pretend like it's possible, pretend like these companies are dodging the law, when instead the SEC just wants to make sure they can get money out of it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.